If you didn't already know, the big Warframe update, interim update, is coming tomorrow. And with that, a large amount of dev workshop stuff was released, mainly the new player experience changes and quality of life. So I quickly wanted to go over and see what we're expecting tomorrow. Dude, trust me, I've been crushing and playing a lot of Claire Obscure. I've been also playing Warframe in the background, so we'll get back to more Warframe, but I will also be making a handful of like Claire Obscure videos throughout the week, so yeah. But reminder everyone, big Warframe update tomorrow. We are getting huge quality of life changes, enemy changes, arsenal changes. They're updating the golden path for new players. Focus on Vor and Junctions, meaning that I believe you'll be able to unlock really good stuff from Junctions now that was previously unlocked when you like beat all the planets, such as I think arbitrations are going to be unlocked from one of the Junctions now. So all things considered, this is just a great update. Now, coming with Ureli Prime, we are getting, remember, Ureli Prime and Kurlevo Deluxe tomorrow. That is the massive big changes. We are getting Arsenal, enemy changes, and Misc quality of life changes. So enemy category, or Arsenal categories, enemy changes, Misc QOL. Arsenal categories for Warframes, they are essentially doing this. They're giving Warframes roles such as damage, crowd control, support, survival, and stealth. These are just mainly defining characteristics such as Ashe is stealth and damage primarily. Obviously, this isn't like a perfect system, but it's more for new players. I imagine anyone who's played the game and is familiar with the Warframes themselves will continue on just picking the Warframe specifically we want to play. But I do want to say this is probably better for new players just to get an idea of if a Warframe's better with damage or support. But daily reminder, any Warframe can kill any enemy because damage is really high on weapons and you don't necessarily need the Warframe. And then once you introduce the helmet system, anything can be anything. So it makes it even easier. I'm not going to be reading through this entire thing because the TLDR is just like, oh, they're making weapon categories for Warframes and weapons. So not bad, not bad. That's the Warframe category. The weapon category is going to be a little better. So the primary categories: rifle, machine gun, precision rifle, shotgun, beam, bow/crossbow, launcher, and then just Misc for like random stuff because there's a lot of random weird one-off weapons, right? Other categories, which include modular weapons like Zaw and kit guns. Okay, so Zaws and kit guns and stuff would be one of the like Misc weapons. Now, here we have pistols, submachine guns, shotguns, beam, throwable, and then Misc for secondaries. And lastly, for melees, you'll have light blade, fists and fans, two-handed blades, scythe, staffs and polearms, hammer, ranged melee, and miscellaneous. Okay, that's not really too bad, I don't think. There's still a lot that you can get from here for sure. Well, I don't think that's bad in the slightest. It just means that early game players will be able to kind of sort their shit a little better. And I, for one, think that's beautiful. I have literally zero issues with that. Now, we have other Arsenal quality of life. Added the ability to sort mod inventory by selecting mod stats in the upgrade UI. Selecting a stat will autofill the search bar with the term. For example, selecting the health stat in the UI would add health to the search bar and sort mods that include health stats. Interesting. And daily reminder, everyone, support the channel or any of the socials, sub, like, follow, comment down below, and check out everything if you just want to be a homie. I burnt my mouth this past week, so honestly, it's been a little hard to talk. So if I'm more lispy a little bit today, it's because I legitimately still have the top left section of my mouth burnt open. I just bit into a really hot pizza and then it melted my entire mouth for like a week. This sucks. Either way, thank you, everyone. To reset, simply select the X on the search bar, okay? Improve search functionality in the arsenal more reliably, brings up associated weapons based on search terms. That is good. Instances prior to the improvements where if you search rifles, several weapons would appear that do not fit the rifle category. This was due to the fact that they used rifle ammo. Oh, which was included in the search logic. Interesting. Lastly, on that one, sortie weapon restriction modifiers will be based on categories, meaning picking on appropriate weapons should be much easier. Okay, that's fine. That is the quick weapon changes. Nothing massive, to be honest, just like categorizing to make it a little easier for newer and already playing players. Now, they're updating enemies. In addition to streamlining the new player path, these are the enemy changes. We're also improving gameplay difficulty variety with new players in mind. As you progress in Warframe, individual enemies are a lot less of a concern. You can either park past or take them down with well-modded gear. For new Tenno, each enemy is a distinct unit to take down. We want to diversify the kind of combat players are exposed to, so we're making the following changes. The Bailiffs are being added to Grineer missions as a mini-boss unit. They are getting reskinned and will be tanky, slow-moving units with a Necromech-like charge and telegraphed hammer slam in addition to normal melee attack. Okay. And then Ballistas will now lock onto players, release a charge shot. We've updated the VFX on their beam to be telegraphed, that's why it does that green into red beam, when they're about to shoot, and have spruced up shots to give a couple extra oomphs of shenanigans, right? All of these posts are always on the Warframe forums, just forums.warframe.com, then you can look around there. This one's always in Dev Workshop, you can see it all in the URL. And then lastly, Eviscerators, they have a new area denial mechanic where they shoot a volley of grenades in a frontline pattern and just stay away from those staggered exploding grenades. Pretty simple, just little updates to the enemies, but nothing massive on that, so those are the enemy changes. Lastly, we have a lot of Misc quality of life here. Like that is primarily the quality of life is this update. So we're gonna quickly take a look from this. We've also cooked up general quality of life, not limited to new players for everyone. Ureli Prime, May 21st. Wild Kubros will no longer attack players unless a player attacks a Kubro or Kubro Den first. To accommodate this change, companions will no longer target neutral wildlife, even if the players attack them. Interesting. Arbitration Honors offerings are being updated to include additional rewards from the Arbitration drop table. Ooh, this is awesome. We've made strides towards adding pity stores for those bad luck mission drops and everything like that. So arbitrations, this is sweet. No, I would recommend everyone grab those arcanes. You can grab Arcane Pistolier, Tanker, Bodyguard, Blade Charge, Primary Charge from there. You can buy Combat Discipline, Adaptation. Oh, that's a big one. Better health tanking, easier earlier on in the game. Aerodynamic, Shepherd, Melee Guidance, Swift Momentum, and Seeding Step Ephemera Blueprint. Yeah, kind of curious what people think about this. I think it's a good step for sure though. Like that's good quality of life. I would say that's good quality of life at least. You get a lot more loot, can grab arcanes from Arbitration, and it refreshes the Arbitration of Honor loot pool. I think they might be doing this because they're making arbitrations an earlier unlock. It just doesn't really say all of the changes, so we'll wait and see. Either way, I like this. Archon Shard removal will now require different secretions per shard color. We also have the removal cost for normal Archon Shards, now 15%, with Tau Forged Archons remaining the same, 30%. Okay, that's not terrible. And then it's just telling you here, Crimson's Oxide, Synthetics, Vile, Pheromones, Biotics, Calcs with the colors there, so not bad. Made the following changes to Avara's Concentrated Arrow with the goal of making it stronger single target killer and status effect dispenser. Hey, Avaro update. Now deals 50% crit chance on a fully charged shot. Cool, big buff. Additional 50% crit chance on weak point hits, including headshots. The issue is you only really want to bother with arrows for Avaro, probably on like one-shotting and bosses, I think. Because like, who cares? It's such a useless ability for me. I don't know. Maybe this is better. AoE Explosion now has line of sight check within first 5 meters of the center. Maybe that's like the only good one still. I don't know. You can now change your loadout from the Temporal and Deep Archimedia Kaya Necroloid screens. That's a good change. Let's see, you can add Universal Gemini Skin Emote, automatically use the corresponding Gemini transformation when you have it equipped. Okay, not bad. Added a new auxiliary option to Minerva's Gemini skin that'll allow you to put her sunglasses on her face. Oh, hell yeah. And then reduced the Dedekin's health by 30% following community feedback. Hey, less of a damage sponge. That's good. Captura quality of life. They've added quick access menu to the gear wheel, and you can quick access camera, text, spawn enemies, kill enemies, select scene, lighting, and game speed. Oh, we can quick select the Captura scene in the menu now? Oh, this is actually game changing. My life is complete. I love that. No, that's actually a great change. Added a show advanced controls toggle to the Captura settings for players who want to jump into Captura to take a quick screenshot. Scrolling through the large amount of settings can be overwhelming. Separated out the core features of Captura to always be visible, and hidden the following mechanics behind the advanced control toggle. So more game speed, camera, filter settings, combat, lightings are hidden behind advanced control toggles. Move the select scene option from the list of settings and put it in defaults and back buttons so it's more easily accessible. Okay. Some good stuff. That's some good stuff. So that's all coming this update, right? This is what's coming next update. There's quite a lot planned for this update, so we've broken down this section into categories for easy perusing. This is with Isleweavers in June now. They're doing Junction changes, they're doing quest reworks, they're doing Vor rework, and they're doing other quality of life. So, Junction changes. Vital tool to guide players through SAR chart. Here's how they're updating it. UI refresh, giving more information. Can't click on the UI. Selecting Junction will now open a new Junction screen. Select all the tasks, separate buttons. Okay. Players can no longer enter Junctions when all tasks are not completed. Okay, understandable. While players could not fight the Spectre, entering Junctions early only confused players. Now you can only enter when you're ready for the Spectre showdown. Okay. New update tomorrow, and then this is the Isleweaver info on next month. Add ability to click a Junction task, have it transport you to a relevant node if unlocked. So they're just making things a little more understandable for new players. Junction rewards plus task changes. So they've purely added and changed some stuff around. Venus Junction. All of this is, I guess, the same, but new Junction tasks here. Equip Dreamer's Bond in your Warframe's aura slot, and that's how you get that from doing Vor's quest. Use Fusion to rank up Dreamer's Bond, and then start building the taxon. Not bad. So you do 1, 2, you get it all one by one, and then boom, you're done. These revised tasks teach players about auras to increase their modding capacity. It encourages fusion, vital mods builds. Yeah, good stuff there. Then Junction completion rewards. For that is Furus fully built and 5,000 credits. Next up, the Mercury Junction. Voxelaris quest into using credits, build a Rhino Warframe blueprint from the market. Nice. Defeat Jackal at Fossa on Venus and collect all Rhino blueprints. Okay. Okay. And then start building a Rhino component and you get a Warframe slot. That's good shit. That's good shit. That's good drops, all in all. And then remove the tasks for completing 6 waves defense at Tessera on Venus in a single mission. And the Junction completion rewards, built Boltor, 10k credits, and some of the quests, right? Because you got to do those. And they also changed Rhino crafting cost. Okay, it looks like that's the big changes there. The last one was Mars Junction. Once awake, into activate new quests using the codex in your orbiter, into complete one mission with a Boltor primary weapon equipped, into purchase a weapon to be determined from the market, and you get some loot. Not bad. They removed Collect Rubido, and then they gave you a fully built Fragor, some credits, and quest unlocked, the Arcwing. Yeah. Fun fact, there are Crunchyroll sub drops on Twitch for a while, so if anyone gifts 2 subs, or subs and gifts a sub, I think, yeah, get Crunchyroll. I don't know. I guess they're doing a promo with Crunchyroll. Not bad. Arbitration unlock changes. Arbitrations, this is the big one, are now unlocked through Junction completion instead of completing Star Chart nodes. Arbitration will now be unlocked upon completion of the Pluto Eris Junction, everybody. This is probably the biggest quality of life update change. So I would definitely try to pay attention to that one. Arbitration's a great thing for new players to unlock, so I'm just taking a screenshot, and you get a lot of good mods and loot from it in general. So would do it. Quest changes, Nata. Okay, quest in your inbox. It'll change the quest a little bit. Okay, nothing too big there. I'm not going to go over it much, but you can read through it if you feel like it. The new War Railjack sections. Okay, so they have made it easier. They're either buffing the Railjack or nerfing the enemies, but they're saying stay tuned. Okay. There is the Vor rework. Ooh, I don't think we'll have to re-clear the Junctions. I doubt it, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. We might end up just getting the Junction loot in our inventory if it's new loot type of deal, but I guess we'll wait and see. Captain Vor, feature still in development. Okay, start off, he's got a new fancy arena. As players enter the door, face him face to face. So here's some of his abilities. Electricity Grenade, Electricity Pylon, Shield, and Teleport. Nothing too surprising here. We've seen these kind of mechanics everywhere. Awesome. After losing his health, 2 health segments, teleports to a lair, you gotta do stuff there. Void Key Beam and then Electrical Orbs are some of the other attacks he'll use after that. All in all, not bad, I'd say. And then lastly is other quality of life. Rhino cost changes. They made Rhino cheaper and made it so that you could build Rhino on the planet that you acquire him from, because previously it kind of sucked. Because his parts were Venus required, and that didn't make much sense. Either way, they just reduced the cost and made it easier. They made Incarnon Shop rotating. Oh. Steel Path Incarnons were initially launched. Additional Incarnon adapters. Incarnon adapters added to the Platinum purchase in Kurlevo's store. Okay, people will finally be able to pay to win for all of the Incarnon adapters. Okay. We're also looking at the normal circuit progression path to alleviate some players' report pain points there. Stay tuned. Yeah, so people can just pay to win and buy the Incarnon adapters now. Lastly, plant resource change acquisition. No longer, I think, will you have to scan them, because scanning sucked. So now you're able to just grab plants like this. Hold to gather. That should make some of those early quests a little easier. Either way, I just wanted to go over the Warframe new player improvements, quality of life updates coming in this update tomorrow, because it seems pretty big. So let me know what you think. As always, sub, like, we'll get this video up on YouTube as soon as we can. Thank you.